about one of them in Burke County, the Pilot Mountain Precinct. It took about an hour and a half to get things really moving this morning because there was a laptop issue. The laptop they used to check in voters just wouldn't boot up. We all have that issue with our computers sometimes when you come in the office, and I guess election administrators are no different. There were some people in line at the time, I mean, we're talking about a delay in voting, who apparently left. There were others who got tired as it progressed and left as well. But there was some talk from the election administrator, some may come back, and they decided ultimately, the state election board, we're going to extend voting through 8 o'clock at this one precinct in Burke County. That's really important to point out here because in that case, there was an observer, a person actually running for office who kind of was observing the precinct and saw nobody really moving. And at some point filed an affidavit with the state saying we have an issue here. And you don't want to see voters disenfranchised. You want everybody to be able to vote who wants to vote. So there in Burke County, an extra 30 minutes, which is going to wrap up here pretty soon. The same is true at the Gardner School Precinct. That's in Wilson County. We're talking about east of Raleigh. That opened at 6:30, but they had a printer issue there where they couldn't get the printer to print out the print authorization to vote forms. And unfortunately, this was a new election administrator there in Wilson County. There were some issues of not following up the backup procedures. So once again, you had people, they got tired. I mean, they probably had to go to work and they left. And again, you don't want to see people do that. But in both of these precincts, we're talking about 20 people, maybe a little bit more, who potentially left. So not a huge number. And I do want to point out one more thing that I thought was really interesting when listening to these state board emergency meetings today about these two precincts, which each got an extra half an hour. There was a real concerted effort to make sure there was a unified front when voting on these extensions. You know, you have Republicans and you have Democrats on these state boards. And they were desperately trying to get unanimous votes. In one of those precincts, they went 5-0, the other 4-1. So maybe an effort to try to unify and to restore faith and trust in the system that we have here. And I do want to point out, too, I mean, I was out there at the Mecklenburg County election office in 2020. We all were waiting for something to happen. It didn't happen. You know, and so far today, there really hasn't been much that has happened here other than people respecting their fellow voters. I went to vote early on the first day of early voting, and I waited in line a long time. I'm compulsive, so I had to get it done. But I was sitting there with these people, and nobody was getting aggressive. Nobody was getting impatient. I mean, maybe people are acting in good faith and just want to make sure their votes counted and doing what it takes, nothing more, you know, not making a big scene.
Absolutely. Nate, thank you for watching that. I mean, there's a lot of delays, or not many delays that we've been talking about, those two in the precincts, but obviously there's 30,000 votes that need to be recounted in Milwaukee County, which is the largest county in Wisconsin. And obviously there's different rules of how they're going to hand count ballots in Pennsylvania and other states. That is going to be key as we head into the hours tonight. So you may see more of these issues